should ban all genetically modified organisms. For the affirmative.
GMOs are bad for the environment. Terminator seeds are natural plant seeds with changed proteins and DNA to help the plant grow faster and mutate. Arguments say that this is good since there's a lot of people suffering from hunger in our world. I agree, and for a couple of years and maybe a few decades everything will be nice, everyone will be happy. But after those happy times there are no more seeds since Terminator seeds cannot reproduce. If we don't ban GMOs now, genetically modified food will become expensive since there are less and less seeds, and genetically modified seeds cannot reproduce. So since food is so expensive, no one will buy it, and it won't turn out well. I say we ban GMOs for now so we can stick with healthy nutting. If scientists can find a way to have Terminator seeds reproduce, great. But for now, let's ban Terminator seeds and stick with the organic stuff.
Hello, my name is Andrew. I believe we should not ban GMOs because, first of all, GMOs have been shown to pose no health risks. As www.foodsafetymagazine.com states, the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, NASA, has discovered that after extensive research, there is no distinctive difference between food that are genetically modified, GM, and those that are conventionally grown. The research also uncovered no clear difference in risk to human health or the environment between the two types of crops. Because there is no difference between GMO foods and foods without GMOs, GMOs should be used. GMOs can also reduce the amount of toxic pesticides being used. GMO plants are resistant to bugs, so they decrease the amount of toxic pesticides that were used on regular crops to kill those bugs. Since GMOs use less pesticides, they should be grown. GMO food has much nutrition, as www.hippocraftins.org states. When Time magazine ran a cover story titled Grains of Hope, the article joyfully announced the development of a genetically engineered golden rice. The result is a form of rice that is a golden color that produces beta-carotene, which the human body normally converts into vitamin A. Because GMO foods can be healthy, they should be eaten. Also, I would like to refute my opponent's argument. They said that it will get expensive and can't reproduce. An example of something like this, though, is human evolution. We started out as monkeys, and we grew and become the human Homo sapiens sapiens that we are today. And because of mutations, for better or the worse, we became what we are today, and so we should be able to reproduce. Finally, imagine you are stranded on an island. There is nothing but stalks of GMO food. Would you starve to death or would you eat this food, which is clinically proven to do no harm? And that's why you should vote for the negative side.
My name is Dorian, and I'll be telling you why we should ban GMOs. GMOs, they do give you a lot of extra vitamins, they grow faster, and they grow larger. But they also need more water and soil, which we have, sunlight, which we have, carbon dioxide, which we produce. Water is very, very scarce right now, and we are currently in a drought, which makes water a very, very hard request to meet. Also, when it's proven on the website GMOanswers.org, which is made by many experts that study GMOs, that when a pregnant mother eats GMOs, there's a possibility that the baby's genetic code will be altered, which can lead to mutations such as autism. And also, there is the death rate for like the 22 different diseases that you can get from eating GMOs is 1,800,000 per year. Also, 3 of the countries with the highest life expectancies have all banned GMOs. If we, I'm not saying that our life expectancy is lower than them because we use extensive amounts of GMO, but I can safety assume that that it has some connection. So if we ban GMOs, then we might have higher life expectancy, which makes happy life. This is why you should vote for our team and why you should vote against GMOs.
So first I would like to restate some of my opponent's arguments. So first of all, they said that it would have a higher life expectancy, but they didn't state a clear source, so it might not be too reliable. And they also said that GMOs are resource intensive, but they might require a lot of resources, but GMOs, they produce a lot more, and the actual GMO is much bigger. So in the end, they can provide millions of people with food that they can't afford themselves. So one of my points is GMOs remove the need to use pesticides. Therefore, environmentally dangerous pesticides are not required. And second of all, GMOs are checked before marketing, rendering them harmless. So GMOs are checked yearly by professional scientists for dangerous toxins, says www.sciencemag.org. Plant genetic engineering was developed 30 years ago, and since then the process has evolved. And for an example of this is that they now pose many less health risks. Finally, organic plants also have natural toxins that can harm the human body. Thank you, and please vote for the negative.
Final speaker for the affirmative, delivering the rebuttal.
I will now give you the final reasons that I have why we should ban GMOs. Around 82% of corn and almost 90% of soy, which are all pretty common among us, have all grown with GMO treatment. And that also includes 70% of all processed foods in the U.S. And he also did say that I did not state my source, which is GMOanswers.org, which I did say was made by a lot of experts. And if it's not clear enough that I did say that our life expectancy might be raised, but if we ban GMOs, corn is very, very, very common among us, and so if we ban GMOs from our corn and soy, then we will have higher life expectancy than we eat that. Thank you, and this is why you should vote against GMOs.
And now I would like to restate my opponent's claims. First of all, they said there are 22 diseases from GMOs. But from my article, I thought that there are no health risks concerning from GMOs. My research is more reliable because it has 1,000 tests and 80 experts, reports from 80 experts, and 700 comments from the public. Also, I'd like to extend on my partner's claims that GMOs are tested. On each type of GMO, they are tested from 7 to 10 years, rendering GMOs to have no health risks. This is why you should, thank you, and this is why you should vote for the negative.
If you think that the affirmative team won, that we should ban GMOs because they cause more harm than good, raise your hand. Only one hand counts. Having my official counter. Okay. And then if you believe that the negative team won, raise your hand. High. Really nice and high.
who's the guest judge?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot about the guest judge.
As the guest judge, and I have to call this debate, I'm calling this side. Their ideas were convincing, and I have to admit, I walked in on the fence, and I'm convinced. So thank you very much.
I am so honored to have been working with you, and there are some more debate camps that are coming up in a couple weeks. Those will be smaller camps, so less people, and we will have more one-on-one time, and we'll be teaching more advanced theory. Okay, so this is kind of like let's just kind of introduce you to it really quick and get going.
I've seen a lot of negative teams say that they're tested, the GMO things were tested really well, and for 7 to 10 years, I think, but the government doesn't really care about this, and the FDA doesn't really take any part in the testing. It's the company, I think, that does most of the testing, and the FDA just, I think, allows them to test it on their own. If you ever went to Vons or Rouse or your neighborhood supermarket, and you went inside and you go to the grocery center, and when you look in the grocery center, you see apples and oranges, but I'm guessing that there's a lot of GMO foods, and GMO is really popular, but now that I've seen all those foods, none of them actually said they were GMO.
All right, 1 minute.
In thousands of independent studies since the 1980s, not one health issue has ever been identified. Authorities from around the world, such as the U.S. National Academy of Science, United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, World Health Organization, American Medical Association, and the American Association for the Advancement of Science have analyzed thousands of scientific studies on GMOs.